The world is reeling from the staggering and unbelievable deaths of Hollywood legend Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, whose partially mummified bodies were discovered rotting inside their secluded New Mexico home. The details are so eerie, so inexplicable, that whispers of foul play, hidden forces, and a Hollywood cover-up are growing louder by the second. In a jaw-dropping twist, notorious Hollywood exile Randy Quaid has blown the lid off what he calls an assassination plot straight out of a movie script, claiming Hackman was murdered just like Heath Ledger and David Carradine before him. Could it be that Hackman knew too much? Was he silenced by the same shadowy forces that have claimed the lives of so many Tinseltown stars? Even more bizarre, investigators at the scene initially botched crucial details, including misidentifying the couple's dead dog, first calling it a German Shepherd before correcting it to an Australian Kelpie mix. Could this be a clumsy mistake, or a blatant attempt to throw off the public? Adding fuel to the conspiracy bonfire, investigators found prescription pills suspiciously close to Arakawa's body, yet officials refused to disclose their contents. Were these just ordinary medications, or something far more sinister? Why has no official cause of death been determined? And how did the couple, once the epitome of Hollywood power, end up forgotten? Their bodies decaying in eerie silence? The world demands answers. The police say no foul play, but we've heard that before. With the autopsy and toxicology reports still pending, the biggest question remains: was this a natural death, or the latest high-profile Hollywood hit job? Stay tuned. This story is only getting stranger. As the world struggles to make sense of the bizarre, chilling deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa, one Hollywood insider is refusing to accept the official narrative. In a shocking and unfiltered rant, actor Randy Quaid, best known for both his big-screen roles and his controversial exile from Hollywood, has come forward with earth-shattering allegations. Gene Hackman wasn't just a victim of old age or tragic misfortune, he was murdered. Quaid, who has spent years claiming that a shadowy network of Hollywood elites is responsible for the suspicious deaths of numerous A-list stars, has pointed to eerie similarities between Hackman's death and those of Heath Ledger and David Carradine. Ledger, famously found dead in 2008 from an overdose of prescription medications, was later revealed to have been mixing substances in a way that some believe was far more sinister than accidental. Carradine, on the other hand, was found under mysterious and humiliating circumstances in a Bangkok hotel room in 2009, a death that still sparks debate. According to Quaid, Hackman's death fits the same pattern: a powerful actor, isolated from Hollywood, suddenly turning up dead in an inexplicable scenario, with police eager to shut down any further questioning. In a bombshell statement, Quaid declared that he knows who killed Gene Hackman and is calling for a full FBI investigation into what he insists is a clear and deliberate cover-up. His claims, of course, have only added fuel to the already raging inferno of speculation. If Hackman was indeed targeted, the biggest question remains: who wanted him dead, and why? Was there something the legendary actor knew? Some deep Hollywood secret that made him a liability to the wrong people? Could the unexplained presence of prescription pills near Arakawa's body hint at a forced overdose? Perhaps a staged scene meant to throw investigators off the trail? While law enforcement has categorically denied any evidence of foul play, Quaid's accusations have sparked a firestorm on social media. Many dismiss his claims as the ravings of a Hollywood outcast, but others insist that stranger things have happened, especially in a world where wealth, power, and influence can turn death into just another well-executed script. With final autopsy and toxicology reports still pending, the truth remains elusive. But one thing is certain: Randy Quaid is not backing down, and if there's one person who refuses to be silenced by the Hollywood machine, it's him. From the moment authorities arrived at Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's eerily silent Santa Fe home, something felt off. The legendary actor and his wife had been dead for days, possibly weeks, before their bodies were discovered in an advanced state of decomposition. But instead of providing clarity, the initial police response only added layers of confusion, missteps, and head-scratching errors. blunders that some now claim hint at something deeper than mere incompetence. The first, and perhaps most baffling mistake, came almost immediately. Reports from the scene stated that a German shepherd had been found dead inside the home, adding yet another grim element to the tragic discovery. But then, just as quickly, the official story changed. The dog, it turned out, wasn't a German shepherd at all, but an Australian Kelpie mix named Zinna. Why did authorities misidentify the animal so carelessly? Some have brushed it off as an honest mistake in the chaos of an unsettling crime scene, but others see it as a red flag. If they got something so basic wrong, what else did they miss? Could this suggest a rushed, sloppy investigation? One that might have overlooked key evidence in the desperate push to close the case? Even more unsettling, law enforcement's initial handling of the deaths was contradictory and inconsistent. At first, the authorities labeled the scene as suspicious, citing the advanced state of the bodies and the dead dog as potential signs of foul play. Yet within mere hours, that suspicion seemed to evaporate, with officials abruptly declaring there was no evidence of trauma, no gas leak, and no signs of a break-in. The public was left scratching their heads. If the case was so open and shut, why did it take investigators so long to make a clear ruling? And why was there no immediate explanation for what led to the deaths of Hackman, Arakawa, and their dog? As if that weren't enough, reports later surfaced that prescription pills had been found near Arakawa's body. Yet authorities have remained tight-lipped about what those pills were, how many were present, and whether they played any role in the couple's deaths. If there was nothing to hide, why the secrecy? To some, these missteps are nothing more than routine investigative stumbles. But to others, they reek of a cover-up. In a case already marred by conspiracy theories, conflicting reports, and growing public suspicion, one thing is clear. This investigation is anything but flawless. As the bizarre, tangled web of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths continues to unravel, one thing is becoming painfully obvious. The authorities have no idea what's going on. From their botched investigation to their flip-flopping conclusions, the very people who are supposed to be providing answers only seem to be creating more questions. How did a Hollywood legend and his wife rot away in their own home for days, possibly weeks, without anyone noticing? Why did the police misidentify their own evidence and then backtrack? And what about those mysterious prescription pills? Are we really supposed to believe they're just a coincidence? And then there's Randy Quaid, Hollywood's exiled truth-teller, screaming from the rooftops that Hackman was murdered. Is he onto something? Or is this just another high-profile case swept under the rug before we can put the pieces together? Meanwhile, the police keep telling us to wait for toxicology reports. But let's be real. Do you really trust them to tell the whole story? Or are we being spoon-fed a narrative that keeps the bigger, darker truth locked away behind closed doors? Something isn't adding up. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when stories like this don't make sense, it's because someone doesn't want them to. We'll be keeping our eyes on this case because something is being hidden. And the truth is out there. If you want to stay on top of this developing mystery, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. Do you believe the official story? Or is there something more sinister at play? Let's talk about it. We're not letting this one go.